Hello everyone and welcome to Short Rest for episode 80. We are continuing the rumble in the jungle, the bout of champions, the fight of all fights. Oh boy, how you guys feeling?
That was a lot.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great.
I don't have greater restoration, by the way, anymore. I cannot.
It's okay. I'm feeling great.
A lot has happened, so we're continuing on from the fight with Rolly and Vera, knocking down 3 people in one. We started off with a solo salve mission. So, Savannah, my goodness, how are you? So you went through Moreno. You were doing some sickly damage.
Yeah, once I realized, like, okay, that's what you're gonna do. I could just keep hitting you and making you chase me. So
Moreno was not a smart person, so he definitely was running to you, and he is a type of druid that does well close up.
Which is
I am
weird.
surprised I didn't see any animal friends. So
Yeah, I never got a chance to use any of his high spells because a lot of his abilities cost actions. And it was me one of those things where if he used up all of his wild shapes, which were transformed into this temporary HP type of effect, he was going to start wielding spells. But he never got to that point. He was getting dropped so quickly that I was like, oh, this is not going to end well for him. It's funny how rogues by themselves are kind of squishy, but for you who could use a bonus action to distract and gain sneak attack is now scary. God, it's so scary. So so you dropped Moreno pretty quickly. It didn't seem like he was that of a concern to you.
well, I'm thinking in the mind of Savannah. I'm all like, she doesn't want to be there. She didn't want to be there in the first place, and now this guy is attacking her. So it's like, yeah, I just want to get out of here. So you need to go away.
Yeah. We then had the group bout of Rolly, Uthiel, and Vera versus Vox, Hopkins, and Lorcan.
Versus Big Shiny Gun, Old Man, and Monk.
And Monk, yeah.
Like the monk, Jack Frost, and Big Shiny Gun.
The fact that... Oh boy. I think, Rolly, the fact that you landed a critical on Hopkins was amazing. Like, I was like, oh, you stole his voice. We haven't seen that twice. Yeah, we haven't seen that before.
The entire first attack and the second attack for the first one were both criticals. I was like,
If
God.
he wasn't a monk that had evasion, that was sickly. I think you would have brought him down in the first round. He had to save himself somehow.
Comment on that fight. Y'all really underestimated the sorcerer, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lorcan was amazing to play as. So I've always had this idea of playing a full elemental character. So I mentioned this before, usually when I make these sort of champion bouts, where you play against like custom PCs that I make, I used to go through this idea of like I wanted to make a full elemental character who has a feat called the Elemental Adept, and either is a wizard or sorcerer who can use metamagic or script. I forgot the name of this type of wizard, but regardless, they use a lot of like elemental.
Oh, illusionary script?
No. I forgot the name of the type of subclass of wizard, but regardless, they use a lot of their subclass abilities to like shift elements. Like you saw that with the fireball turning into an ice ball. And yeah, I think that you guys didn't really consider the old man a threat until he started to really bring out the high stuff.
I have justification for that. We crossed out one person in the first round, and then as soon as we did that, an opening came up. He just happened to move off my direct line of path.
Yeah.
So as soon as Vox shifted over, I knew she was the bigger threat. I knew she had first in initiative, and she's already been getting some good shots in. So
yeah, she was dealing like 22 points of damage per hit, which is not a thing to sneeze at.
Nope. And also too, I had Unstoppable as the perk for the for the rage. So whatever ice things he could toss at me that would, paralyze me or, freeze me up,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it.
So there was a couple spells that could have done that, and I had to like hold person prepped just in case, like an ice themed thing where it can like freeze you in place. I keep forgetting of your unstoppable thing, and I think that's a benefit for you because it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm gonna cast hold person. You were like, doesn't stop me.
Well, you didn't do it this time around.
I didn't think about it, but I think the funny thing is, Hopkins, if you didn't do so much damage to him in the first round, he would have tried to stunning strike you. But the thing is, you're immune to stun. The problem is since you did so much damage to him, he didn't want to deal with you. I feel like no one wants to deal with you when you're dealing that much damage.
Yeah.
It's sickly.
I like how the monk freaking hopped over to me though. He was like, I want to deal with you. I'm like, okay, fine. You're gonna get one good hit, and then I'm gonna beat your ass.
He did get a few licks in.
This is not okay.
He stabbed you once and then clocked you in the jaw twice.
Yeah, and then he died.
And he paid for that.
Yeah. Vox was a ranged fighter, and there was unfortunately not a lot of places for her to run to.
Yeah, I mean, Uthiel took care of that. Well, Uthiel and Rolly took care of that.
Yeah, originally my instinct was take out guy closest to us first. We didn't take him out right away, but we got him low enough for him to just not become a threat anymore.
Yeah.
Then as soon as that happened and he went down is when the other two decided, hey, we're gonna split up. So that presented a conundrum. It's like, okay, biggest threat goes here, smallest threat goes over there. I wanted to take out the biggest threat as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't anticipate Uthiel going for her. I thought Uthiel was going to go to the wizard, which I was like, no, take that guy first. I'll handle this one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think Uthiel recognized sort of like this sort of soldier-like tactics that she has. So it's very much like, all right, I have to. This is sort of my era of expertise. I need to go and do this. I think he also underestimated the old man.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like I wouldn't underestimate him so much as I would say like given the options at that exact moment,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been more benefit for me to follow Uthiel instead of going into the water to go get the wizard.
Yeah. I also like the fact that I didn't want to lose Hopkins' body, the drow, because you then saw the effect of the water, of what was occurring. So it was one of those things where I'm like, if I just took him off the map, then you won't know what's actually happening with the lair. And you were in this advantageous position where ice was being thrown and water was being frozen, and if it wasn't going to be frozen, something was going to happen, and you actually got to see what actually happened. So you guys could have easily got pushed off, depending on your placement.
Yeah, hence why like going after the wizard when he went into the water, I was like, no, I think going after Vox is still the right call.
Yeah.
And after hit, it was like, oh, perfect. I didn't want to burn my action surge, but that shield thing kind of put a damper in my plan, so I had to think quick to get the job done. So I gotta tell you right now, she was a artificer ranger.
So she had some sort of technical. I gave her some items, and then she also had Hunter's Mark, which is what the halo was on Uthiel. And she was gaining benefits from like Gloomstalker, so she was getting like an additional d6 to damages. She already had a bunch like bonuses to attack, so I'm like, she's harmful. She's also doing 2d12 of rolls on her, just on her weapon alone. So it's pretty hefty. But you guys ganged up on her and took her out fairly quickly. Moving from that fight, then we had a solo Vera fight. Which Vera versus Queen, who I think I'm gonna be honest. I think Steve knows what Queen was.
Do I?
I don't know. It's your favorite thing.
Hexblade.
It's a hexblade.
Oh yeah, Hexblade. Yeah, I totally knew that.
So she was using Hexblade's curse, which allowed her to teleport. She had, obviously relying on that hex. But she's interesting.
What was she striking with?
She was striking with, if I remember correctly, I think it was like a Morning Star.
Ooh, that is interesting.
Yeah, because you could choose your bonded weapon with a Pact of the Blade.
But Vera came in and just wrecked house. Good lord.
It didn't feel like that in the beginning.
It didn't feel like that in the
It
beginning.
did not.
I was like,
But out of nowhere,
man.
it's like, oh,
Harm-
here, celestial being. Now get wrecked.
I think Harm definitely was like the I'm effing done. Here's Harm. Immediate 70 or whatever, how many 7d6 damage. She was interesting because she knew your name.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said we're gonna have to have a
Like,
conversation
we still have
later.
questions on this.
30 odd people. Let's see if you can find her again.
See, I know her name.
Mhm.
I've already talked to her. I know what she looks like. I can talk in her head.
And there's no after party? What kind of competition is this?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where her group is, so if her group succeeds, I guess.
We'll see. She was dealing. So yeah, it was like Hexblade's Curse. She had like Maddening Hex, so she was like doing additional like 1d6 psychic damage with all of her hexed damage. Yeah, she already had improved hex weapon, so she was getting like an additional +1 to everything else. Dealing solid. I think she was dealing like 30 average. An average of 30 points of damage to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of nasty. But you played to your strengths and took her down. I mean, that Harm. I was telling
Remember I told you we were at break and I was like I wasn't gonna take Harm because I thought I was gonna be a support. Like I didn't know how he was gonna have this like I don't
This
know planned
championship,
out. Like
yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna be random. But I was like I'm just gonna take Harm in the event that I need to like kill a bitch. So
Look at you. That's awesome. And it came in handy too.
did. So I was telling her there's an evocation for warlocks called the Tomb of Leviticus or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And essentially it's like 10 times your warlock level is the amount of temporary HP you can encapsulate yourself in to as a reaction to shield yourself from damage. And I was like, damn it, I should have done that to Harm. That would have absorbed all of that. But I did instead it to Sunbeam, and I made a mistake.
yep.
Also, it's Tomb of Levistus.
Levistus, thank you. Yeah.
I have a character that's also a tiefling warlock, and I thought about taking it, but it's not really my playstyle.
No, for sure. I think having it more of like I'm up and close is sort of where it sort of benefits you a lot more. So that was that match, bringing her down very quickly and leaving your guardian to do whatever he wants.
He's just chilling.
Then it was a team match of Vera and Savannah
And so Sav was like Vera, and I'm like crap.
versus Arthur and Anna. The way I played it was very much like Anna was support, and Arthur was the attacker.
I think Mike does have a point because he's told me this before. I think the way I play Vera when she gets pissed off is very much like a war cleric, but in certain instances then she like just buffs the hell out of people. It just honestly depends on the match.
I've been calling Vera a war cleric for the longest time. You are a war cleric. If you weren't a unity cleric, you would be a war cleric, which is an actual subclass. You would be that.
Yeah, I don't think initially though, because even so she's worked up to this persona because of all the crap that's happened.
For sure.
So
It's trauma built.
yeah.
But I think Arthur really put you like. I think the fact that there was a lot of denials, there was a lot of amazing ideas that you guys had, like
We were like, what about this?
suggestion,
What about this?
fly, Savannah pulling out a lot of these tricks that I did not see coming, and I felt really bad because I was like, Anna can stop it.
Which is why I'm now kicking. There's two things in my head of kicking myself. One, I should have did what I wanted to do, which was take Anna out first. And then two, I kind of messed up that last suggestion that I probably didn't have to use my lucky. I should have hit first.
Oh.
Oh,
I could have hid behind the crystal, then cast it, and it would have been he would have had to roll at a disadvantage.
Oh, you could use a bonus action to hide. Yeah. Well, I mean, regardless, you were able for him to not jump in place, but instead take a swim.
That's my bad on that word. I was like, I should have just said swim.
I was thinking, I was like,
But-
you just said jump. He's not gonna jump off a
But
cliff.
it was pretty funny that we got him just to jump in a circle, and then he just stripped and went and took a dive in the water. I was like, all right.
I mean, the spectators to this whole thing, they're like, "What is he doing? Is this like hysteria?" Just starts.
It's like, all right, you do you, Arthur. Have fun. Come
Oh,
back to
boy.
Uthiel. Guess what happened to me?
there was a lot of moments where I was like, oh boy.
I got hit really hard in the head, and then he gave us a show. I'm not sure what happened.
So I think we should do a final tally how we're doing. It feels like we have one more match. I can guarantee that we have one more match.
I'm
So
pretty
let's go
tapped
down the
on
line.
spells.
Amber, how's Vera doing?
Hit points wise, she's not horrible. Spell wise,
What's your highest spell?
well, I didn't use the fourth, but like
That's your highest
it
one.
right now.
How about Rolly? Where's Rolly sitting at right now?
Rolly is sitting very well, HP wise. He's only missing one ability. That's obviously the
super
action
rage?
surge.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have the point of exhaustion, which will give me disadvantage on all ability checks. However, melee attacks are not considered ability checks.
They are not. Neither are saves. Yeah, you're not like minusing any like deduction of speed as well. So, as far as I'm aware, Rolly's still just tired, but still going like a train.
Be like, we're gonna put you up front, big guy.
How's Savannah doing?
Hit points and about halfway through them.
Okay.
So that's fun. It was like I kept getting like, oh my god, I'm almost back to max health, and then a bunch of hits will hit me. And I'm just
I know,
like,
I kept healing you, and I was like, okay, I think
Yay!
she's
Aw.
okay.
I'm down to my last 3rd level spell, so that's questionable, and have no more luckies, so that's questionable. But other than that, I think I could pull through.
Well, to be fair, you were in 2 fights. One of them was an individual fight. Vera was in what, like 3 fights?
4.
Jesus. I felt like I'm the only one that hasn't really been in fighting, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get.
You
a
had your
chance to shine
fight
on
with
the next one.
Vera, and you have your fight with Vera twice.
I'm just gonna tap
Yeah.
Rolly on the back, been like, bro, I've been in 4 of these. This is all you.
Yes.
I mean, the next one is all of us.
Yeah, Uthgul will be with you.
I'm gonna tell them both. I've been in 4. You guys are gonna have to help me.
Uthgul has all of his spell slots, so if someone needs healing, he can provide. He hasn't used any of his spell slots. The only thing he's used in terms of abilities is his Indomitable and his second wind / Riling Cry. So,
Okay.
fortunately, he can't do a group heal anymore.
Rip Mom's
That's-
headphones out.
Out the table, but he still has his action surge.
Yeah, that's good.
That's always good. That's for a final hurrah.
I would be happy to take point on being the beater. No problem.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of maybe bonus action healing word to get you Rolly going. As this is like a strategy for Uthgul, and playing as range support, or maybe getting in as a second melee fighter. I don't know.
He needs to be on his reactions.
Reactions are going to be important. I have my own second win. That shouldn't be an issue.
There you go.
The concern is really who our next opponents are going to be.
Well, I mean, if it's 4 on 4, does that mean it's the kids? The Bard dude's the only one I don't think has popped up, and then who else?
I thought the kids weren't fighting until like the final match.
Oh
That's
yeah,
if
yeah.
you
So
win.
the way this is working is that if you guys win the battle royale, you automatically win the $40,000 prize, and you have the opportunity to challenge either both kids at once, or Ironside alone, for a chance to win a very, very unique special item.
Ooh, I want it.
Well,
Do
does
we
all
get
be
a
in the
break?
same day, or do we get a break? That.
You're gonna take a long break. A
Okay.
long rest for that.
I was like, strategically, that would make sense. You okay?
Yeah, as like a tournament, like you win the battle royale, and then eventually that sets up a match for a future date for the winner plus.
Yeah,
whoever.
it's like WWE where you won the 30-man battle royale, and now you have a chance to fight the champion or something, whatever.
Be the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Yes. You beat the Royal Rumble. Now you're gonna fight him off at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I understood that reference.
I think we both did.
Yeah.
I
So yeah, that's essentially you'll get a long rest, and then you'll fight either one. And boy, I have Ironside stats. Whew.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah. I kind of made him sickly strong, so we'll see.
Gross.
Yeah.
Any other thought? Any lingering thoughts from this whole fight so far?
I don't know how we're gonna get to this.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do
That's
that
gotta work
last
out
one,
right
but we're
now.
gonna have to do it.
Teamwork. That's how we're gonna get through it.
Yeah, teamwork. So.
Oh, I do have to mention this. So all of the characters that you've been fighting. So you've been fighting 10 characters so far. All of them have been lower levels than you guys.
Oh,
They've
goody.
all been level 11.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Same. I mean, the people you're fighting, you don't know what the level. I may change it up, but just think about that, you guys. You guys have been taking out 10 level 11 characters, and it's just 4 of you. Some of you have been getting more than the others, but regardless, you guys have that's some sturdy endurance. So major props for the way you've been handling the fights.
We ain't stopping.
Hey, there's only 8 people left in that arena, and it's you and these other 4. The chaos is starting to end.
I think
Time to put on a good show.
We're gonna have a break though before the final fight, right? Because next week we're skipping. Right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a break.
But you schedule-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, regardless, that is where we're gonna end today's short rest. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this fight, this battle royale, and we'll check you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Team Griffins!